Sports Talk Nation. Welcome back once again. It's your host, the G-Man, as we continue with our 2016 team-by-team fantasy preview. Today we're going to go into those New York Giants. I think there's lots of options on the Giants because I think their offense is going to be damn good this year. Defensively, you're going to want to avoid like the plague, but I do think offensively, starting at the very top with Eli Manning. Eli Manning has always been undersold as a fantasy quarterback. He's been pretty consistent throughout his career, and last year he really took off. You can do a lot worse than having Eli Manning as your starter. I'd probably put him in that next group right after you go with the Rodgers, Lux, and Russell Wilson and Cam Newtons of the world. I can make an argument that Eli Manning's the next best on that list. He's right there with the Ben Roethlisbergers. I think he's going to be an absolute beast this year. I think their offense is going to score that 28 to 30 points a game. And they're going to need to because the defense is not very good. Another thing that makes Eli as good as he is the running game. Not a ton there to like. Rashad Jennings, I think he could be the guy if he would actually get the time. But he seems to split carries. He fumbles the ball. He's hurt quite a bit. To me, Jennings is a number 3 running back. He's a starter, so he certainly has value, but you don't want to go too early with him. Shane Vereen, in a PPR, everybody knows Shane Vereen is probably second to only Danny Woodhead as far as his abilities. In a standard league, he is unrosterable. He's bye week at best. So let's say PPR, early 3, standard league, unrosterable. Now we get to the position where I think there's a ton of available talent. Odell Beckham. Some people are taking Odell Beckham not only as the first number 1 receiver, but as the overall number 1 pick. I am not. I think he's behind Antonio Brown, but I could see the argument for Beckham being that early. He does everything. I had him in a bunch of leagues last year. He catches a lot of passes. He lost his head in that one game versus Carolina. Even in that game, people forget he did score a touchdown. He catches passes, he catches touchdowns, he catches long touchdowns. He is the complete package. If they can get enough support from the other receivers, I think he has a chance to be superb this year, top 3 overall. Victor Cruz, the jury is still out on him. I think he has the talent to be a top 25 wide receiver. I probably wouldn't even draft him as a top 40 receiver. That injury is just terrible. He was a really good player for a while, and I like him as a guy. I think Victor Cruz is a good guy, but I wouldn't have him on my team until he proves that he is viable. My guess is he will get drafted before I get a chance to take him, and that's okay with me. Sterling Shepard, I think, is going to have the chance to be Rookie of the Year. I think with ODB on the other side, I think that Sterling Shepard could get you 75 balls with 1,000 yards and probably 6 to 8 touchdowns right off the bat. He is not as little as you would think. He is fast. He is strong. He runs good routes. He comes from an offense that threw the ball a ton. I think he has a lot to offer. At a tight end perspective, they have Will Tye, they have Larry Donnell. Neither one is one you should be concerned with on fantasy draft day. I think I guess they're right around the end of that 25 phase. So unless you're forced to have 2 tight ends on your roster and your league is more than 12 teams, they could probably just left the bye weeks if there happens to be a week you need to fill in with them. Defensively, avoid. I think Olivier Vernon will be able to get at the quarterback. I don't trust JPP, and without that pressure, even the great Janoris Jenkins, and I do think he's excellent, are not going to turn the ball over enough to make them viable. So with your 2016 team-by-team fantasy preview of the New York Giants, I'm the host of G-Man, and I am out.